Real Madrid then are 1 point still of Barcelona at the top of the table. Atleti losing today. Meanwhile, at the bottom, you can just see how close it is. We've discussed this, of course, at length, how tight it is really for the whole bottom half of the table. But for Valencia, they are very much in the danger zone, just one ahead of Rayo Vallecano. For more, let's welcome in, shall we? Sid Lowe joins us from Valencia. Sid, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Vinicius Jr. is not there, or Bellingham isn't there, Rodrigo's injured. This is exactly the same we've seen from Real Madrid pretty much all season, just enough to get across the line.
Yeah, and I think that's an important point, because I think you can look at this performance from Real Madrid tonight, and obviously, look, the first thing is they won, and that they're only 1 point behind Barcelona, which is quite extraordinary, really, when you look at the way they play and the way that Barcelona play. And you could look at tonight and you could say, well, yeah, the most important thing was they won in the absence of those really key players, and that it wouldn't be fair to analyse, if you like, the unconvincing nature of this performance, or maybe not the unconvincing nature of the performance so much as the kind of the flat, almost empty nature of the performance on the basis of those absentees. But that's just not the case, because for the immense majority of this season, we've seen a Real Madrid side that have underwhelmed us, a Real Madrid side that haven't created a huge amount, a Real Madrid side that have looked vulnerable in the moments in which other teams have taken the game to them. And I thought we saw that again tonight against the Valencia side, who didn't really dare to take the next step forward, I think, who were very conscious that if they did step up too much, they would be caught on the break, and so never quite did it. And bear in mind as well, it's a Valencia team that's only 1 point currently off the relegation zone, and the team below them has a game in hand, so could be in the relegation zone. And so we're in a situation in which we're kind of going round and round in circles. All year we're thinking Real Madrid aren't very good, but they are very definitely in a title race.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we just keep talking about the Barcelona high line, and they're winning. We keep talking about Real Madrid being rubbish, and they're winning, picking up the points. It's a sign of champions, isn't it?
Well, there you go.
That's what they say, isn't it? Now, Rob Palmer, I keep going back to this, who was on the game for us, he's not here to defend himself, but before the Mbappe second goal...
Tough.
Tough, Rob. Clip this up and send it to him. Rob, who's obviously very easy to please, said, this is a 7 out of 10 performance from Real Madrid. I'm thinking, what planet? Yeah. I mean, this is... It's a win.
Yeah.
Again, we're going round in circles, as Sid said. It's a win. Somehow there's just contrasting styles at the top of La Liga. You've got Atleti, who are completely out of it and lost today. The contrasting styles, but somehow there is a title race. I mean, there's not a title race in England, I wouldn't imagine, but somehow there's a title race in Spain. But we talked about this before the game. This game, the Real Madrid game. Can they keep? I mean, I suppose they can.
They have.
Can they keep playing like that, Stevie, and win a league?
Well, we keep saying they can't win the league if they keep playing like this. But
they might.
They might.
Well, they might because one guy.
Exactly, and that one guy, 38 goals in 31 games, Sid.
Yeah, and it's extraordinary. And I didn't think tonight was a particularly good performance from him. He had a handful of moments. I thought actually last week against Rayo Vallecano, I thought he was dreadful. By his very, very high standards, and he didn't really have a huge influence. He then, of course, scored the late penalty, and of those goals, a lot of them are penalties. I believe it's 8 penalties in La Liga. I think there's a couple more in the Champions League. But he is scoring goals at a phenomenal rate. Now, of course, there are questions about how this fits with the rest of the team, how you build the team around him, what you get in terms of the press at the top of the pitch, and we've discussed this a lot this season, but you can just not get away from those figures, and his finishing is so good, and once he gets a run on, you feel like there's no way that anyone's going to catch him.
Let's just take a look at what all that means. Sevilla very much in this relegation fight as well, as are Girona, despite, of course, their exceptional performance that we saw earlier on a couple of years ago. They all blend into one. They're sitting 12th at the moment, of course, just 4 points separating those sides, and Rayo sitting in 18th. Valencia then very much are in that mix at the moment. After the game, Dan Thomsa spoke to Sid.
There's a huge amount of pressure. The situation you're in is a situation that might be normal for some clubs, but a club of the size of Valencia, with the fan base that Valencia's got, emotionally, is that hard for a player to live with, that degree of pressure and possibly even that degree of fear?
I'll say that's a personal take. I'll say yes, in general. But what I will say is, I think if the pressure is too much, you shouldn't be playing for Valencia Football Club. this is a club with pressure. This is a club that's won the biggest trophies in the world. This is a club that deserves to be fighting for the league title, deserves to be playing European football. It deserves it. So if it's a club that deserves it, it comes with pressure. If you don't want to have pressure, you can't play for a club this big. So in general, I think it's difficult, yes, but it's part of the game.
Dan Thomsa certainly not holding back, Sid. That's what the Valencia fans will want to hear from their players, but they want to see it on the pitch as well.
Yeah, of course. And just before that answer, Dan Thomsa was talking about the work that they do in building up to games. And he said, look, I think our work is good. He said, you look at our statistics and it's good. You look at our underlying values and it's good. And we have to trust in what we are doing. But in the end, you need to win. Now, of course, they've had a couple of big victories over the last few weeks. One secured in the 84th minute, one secured in the 94th minute, which really changed the feel of things because those 6 points have been huge in terms of giving them a tiny, tiny bit of a cushion from the relegation zone. But they are under enormous pressure, and I think you can really feel it in this stadium. Now, this is one of the great stadiums in Spain, Mestalla. And last season, when they turned things around with Carlos Corberán, the manager, and came in and completely changed things and took them from a potential relegation fight to close to European football, he talked repeatedly about the importance of this place, to the noise that this place makes, the fans behind them, 45,000 in here today, and that definitely played a part. I think the risk this season is that it plays a part in the other direction. That the pressure put upon the players gets bigger and bigger, that the complaints from the fans get bigger and bigger, because as Dan Thomsa says, this is a club that's used to competing for European football, that has won the league title twice in this century, that has got a huge European heritage as well. And so today, for example, we felt it in those moments when Valencia didn't take a step forward. And the analysis perhaps is that they shouldn't do, because if you do, Madrid will catch you on the break. When they didn't do so, there was kind of a tension, a nervousness, a whistling for them to step forward. When Carlos Corberán made a couple of the changes late in the second half, they whistled him. They then appealed for him to leave the club, appealed for the owners of the club to leave. Now, that's a different issue, and I think a lot more justified. But that, I think, all comes together to create a situation in which what should be, if you like, the key thing that will help Valencia survive, there is a risk, of course, that it goes the other way.
Thank you very much, Sid. Much appreciated. Just a reminder, of course, we've got Copa del Rey action midweek, semi-finals. Athletic Club against Real Sociedad and Atletico Madrid against Barca on the Thursday.